Hello, all you wonder-filled women and men out there. In the world of Cosmic Crone, I am Carla Sanders, the Cosmic Crone, and I am here with you today. We are approaching the Leo new moon, and I'm here with the Divine Feminine Astrology reading. And this, I just got Kelly Hunter's reading in my inbox, and she talks about the Lioness new moon, and I said yes, and Sekhmet, and I said yes, because that's exactly what I read in this chart, and more. But I want you to really let that settle in. Let's do a bit of a backup. We had super major cleansing new moon after the eclipses a month ago. And then we had the full moon in Aquarius that was all about taking action and stepping out with the new self. And today the Leo new moon is it's got fire behind it. It's a rocket ship. To mix the metaphors, it is a rocket ship, and I think it's really important, it's very significant that there is a woman vice presidential nominee, high in the echelon of our national politics right now, because it's calling. These times are calling for the women to come out like lionesses, to unsheath our claws, our swords, our knives. And it sounds violent, but the fact is, it is time to cut the crap. Cut through the illusion. That is what Kali does. She cuts through the veils of illusion. And that's actually in this chart too. Let me calm down and take it piece by piece so that you can hear it and receive the message and the inspiration and do something with it. And you've got several days. You need to do some preliminary work to be fully prepared for this moon. So you've got time. That's why I'm coming on a little early. The full moon is Tuesday night, 10:41 p.m. Eastern Time, where I live. August 18th. So here we are on Saturday. First off, the moon, sun are at 26 Leo. They are conjunction with Mercury at 28 Leo. So this energy of the Leo new moon is being broadcast at the speed of light. Mercury is speed, communication, electronics, technology, money, all the ways that we communicate. It can even be ejaculate, semen, to use the metaphors that I love around sexuality. So that's happening. And then there's a grand fire trine. You got Eris, Black Moon Lilith, and Mars over in Aries, and you've got the galactic center and the south node exactly at 27 Sagittarius. So grand fire trine. This is like the third grand fire trine we've had in a row, as these planets have been moving around. Let me take a breath. So I read Lilith. There are 3 Liliths on a chart, and I read them all the time. And sometimes they're super active, and sometimes one of them is, and sometimes they all are. And today they all are. So the Lilith that's rising in this chart of the new moon is Algol, the demonized goddess. And you can actually think of her as Sekhmet and Kali. She's the fierce bitch goddesses is what I call her. Demonized goddess, the ones we're scared of. And in fact, I mean, I tell different kinds of stories about her depending on what's going on in the world or what the chart says. But today, she's Sekhmet. She's Durga riding the lion. She is coming out, claws bared, teeth bared, ready to defend her young, ready to tear down tyranny, to tear down illusion, and say, you know, the fact that I'm a demon, the belief that I'm a demon, the belief that I ever went anywhere is an illusion. And you're going to find out what that's all about right now. So we just completed the Lion's Gate a week ago at the half moon. And it was a week from today, the Lion's Gate. And the lion is through the gate. The lion is leaping through the gate. So you are picking up all that energy and you can run with it. Now there's more. Before I get around to all the other Liliths and our dear sister Eris, I'm going to talk about another email I got this morning. I am on Kasia Urbaniak's email list, and she is one of the most awesome, most powerful, most effective and clear teachers of feminine power I've come across. And she sent out an email talking about the good girl. The good girl, she opened it with, you know, think of all the good girls you know who've changed the world. How many good girls have toppled corrupt systems, invented extraordinary things? And she says, none, right? Zero. Because good girls do not change the world. Good girls cannot even change their lives. Good girls are tasked with upholding the status quo, staying safe, upholding the patriarchy, the woman behind every man. Good girl, good woman, good wife. And I thought, wow, I'm getting ready to print the chart and let me see what Eris is up to, because I knew Eris is the quintessential bad girl. She stands for discord, disruption, and chaos. That is her intention, and she does it. We can call upon her to disrupt for the highest good. I've been saying for 2 years that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is Eris, and her posse, the 4 women representatives in Congress that came in with her are Eris. The world is full of Erises standing up right now. Eris is a goddess who basically started the Trojan War. She stirred up all kinds of jealousies and conflicts and got the goddesses at each other's throats and got men behaving at their very worst in the name of love and passion and foolishness, and started the Trojan War. We can use that. We need that. We need Eris right now, and Eris is on fire. So Eris, so I looked up Eris, and there she is, exact conjunction with Mars and an applying conjunction with Black Moon Lilith. So you've got the goddess before patriarchy enlisting. She is literally enlisting Eris and Mars energy to say, we have work to do. What can you do for us? I have a job. I have an assignment for you, Eris, and I know you're going to want to accept it because it's right up your alley. So it's your wheelhouse. It's your superpower, Eris. And I've got Mars. Mars is at your service. You can totally call on Mars for anything you need. Isn't that amazing? That's what's happening right now. And oh, by the way, and the Galactic Center is opening up a portal of energy that is flooding your way. The new moon Everybody's paying attention because it's a new moon and the galactic center is beaming in pure truth, pure divine feminine power, pure energy. You can't miss, Eris. Go. Do. That's the grand fire trine happening right now. So let me see. Let me make sure I completed all my sentences here. I'm way too excited. Good. So the good girl never did anything important. She just upheld the status quo, kept everything safe, played small, didn't change the world, didn't do anything. So your work for the next few days is to do some meditating, some journaling really. I mean, get into this, take action on this, take long walks and then journal and say, where is my good girl holding me back? Where is my good girl trying to tell me that I am afraid, I can't, it's too much, it's inappropriate, it would be a mistake, I would fail. Where's your good girl holding you back? Chances are you have a dream, a mission, a vision, some art to make, a class to offer, something to teach, somebody to love. There's something that is calling you to be a bigger, more potent, more effective, more joyful, more purposeful version of yourself. And your good girl is saying, do I have permission? Will I get in trouble? Who will get offended? And it could be all happening just so far back you don't even hear it. So allow it to become bold and in your face and be aware of it. And say, oh, wow. Ooh, what am I going to do about that? Well, what you're going to do about that, at the new moon, you're going to do a release ceremony. And if you don't know how to do that, I've got one. But it's very simple. You can rip out those journal pages, roll them up in a ball, set them on fire, flush the ashes down the toilet, and say, yes, that's done. Now what? Well, then you take the new moon energy and you install the dark goddess. Not the bad girl. There's bad implies bad. And who of us wouldn't choose good over bad because we're ethical people with strong values and we don't want to be bad. Badass, maybe. Install your badass girl. Install your heiress, your disruptor, your truth teller, the one with a voice, the one with a yoni, the one who will take a risk, the one who is bold and fierce. So what you do, you're going to tap into your lioness energy. You're going to install your lioness. You need her. You need her now. And you're going to install the lioness. You're going to check in with Sekhmet. You're going to use Sekhmet to be ferocious, to cut off their heads, to cut through illusion, invoke Kali, invoke Durga, invoke any of them. Any of the fierce goddesses. You're gonna slip on over to Eris and say, Eris, what can we disrupt? What kind of trouble can we get into today? Because that's how you're going to shift. You're going to shift your energy. You're going to shift the way you've been holding back. And then, what else have we got going? Oh, we have all kinds of... Well, let's talk about the other Lilith. The other Lilith, the disowned Eris, is working in, like this. She's taking her orders right now from Black Moon Lilith, who is the void of creation becoming form. She is like the goddess who is the creatrix, the goddess, I say before patriarchy, the goddess that we are all opening our hearts and minds and bodies to begin to get to know, because she has been kept from us. But she is us, and she is moving through us. So she's giving Eris her instructions, so we can get still and say, okay, Eris, you've got a job to do. Black Moon Lilith, tell me what that is. Receive your instructions. Your good girl is roaring, not to mention howling. Teresa, what's she howling about? Find out what your good girl, give her something to do. Get her out of the way. She's holding you back. You want your Eris, your disruptor. You want the one that's going to tear down the pillars, the pillars of patriarchy. That's what we're doing. So there's a third Lilith. The other Lilith is Lilith Asteroid, who is our internalized, disowned feminine. Our inner fierceness, our sexuality, our power. And she is the one, I call her the keeper of the feminine wound. She's the one that the good girl masquerades. The good girl covers her over. The good girl wears a mask to hide that disowned Lilith. So disowned Lilith is in some ways representing your good girl right now. She's at 20 Sagittarius, and she's in a square, an exact square to a minute with Neptune. Now, Neptune has a big orb, so this has been playing out for a long time. Neptune is, he is the inspiration of artists and visionaries, vision, seeing things, creativity, seeing beyond reality. So that's his good side. But when I see him in a square to something like Lilith with all of this fire going on, I'm going to say he could be creating the illusion that everything's all right, or that you need to put your good girl forth in order to be safe, that you can't afford to let your good girl slip. You need to keep that mask on. He also could be pointing out, in the presence of all this light and fire energy, he could be pointing out, pulling back the veil, where you see how you've been duped by the good girl myth, and how that striving and working so hard to be acceptable, to do the right thing, to be liked, to be useful, to be needed, to do the right thing, to be of service. The good girl doesn't do bad things, but she can slip into that delusion that edges towards martyrdom, self-sacrifice, or sending her energy to the wrong side. The side that is upholding injustice or upholding we've been talking a lot lately about the insidiousness of racism, sexism, misogyny, and how it becomes, Me Too and then Black Lives Matter all burst on the scene and showed up and parted the veils and said, no, it's not insidious. It's invisible to you because you're A, male, B, white, be a white woman, C, a white woman. look at the society, at what's going on. And now we have an invisible, quote, enemy, a virus that we can't see, but it is having profound effects. So Nessus and Lilith asteroid, I'm sorry, not Nessus, Neptune and Lilith asteroid are telling a story of peeling back the veil of illusion and saying, what's back there? And it might stink. It might be ugly. When you look at your own good girl and what keeping her in place is costing you, or what it's caused you to do, the decisions she's caused you to make, the opportunities she's caused you to miss, the mistakes, it might not be easy. It could be hard. So here's the thing. Do not dwell on it. This is not about judging yourself, beating yourself up. This is about releasing. This is about shifting and moving through. We have a portal here. This new moon holding down one angle of a grand fire trine, square the demonized goddess Algol. And what else is going on? And tapping in to Eris. Eris is square, a big trilogy, a trio over in Capricorn, Chariklo, Saturn, Pluto. Those have been dancing together for a couple of years here. So Saturn says, you've got a container for this. This is not an out of control reaction. You can create a container. You can create a ritual to do a lot of this work in the etheric and energetic realms, the spiritual realms. You can create a container to pour your energy into, your unleashed energy, where it can transmute and do incredible good. Art, Saturn, is indispensable to the artist, whether you're writing or dancing or painting or doing theater or making music, because art implies form. If you're a teacher, you're creating a program, you're creating a class, if you are a coach or a healer, you have a form, you have modalities, you have a body of knowledge. Saturn can help you figure out how to channel all of this energy in a way that starts making shifts. Chain reactions of changing lives, inspiring people, expressing yourself, becoming whole, healing yourself, supporting others in their healing, taking political action. You don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to sit in the whirlwind and say, I'm running as fast as I can. No, we have allies here in the midst of this, and Saturn and Chariklo and even Pluto are a trio of those allies. And there is another ally. What else have we got? Yeah, another ally. There is an opposition. Ceres in Pisces is in an exact opposition to Magdalena, Mary Magdalene, in looking at the birds. Mary Magdalene over in Virgo, the sign of the priestess. Ceres, the earth, and this is metaphorically nourishment, food, feeding your soul, feeding your body, and it's also the presence of Gaia, the entity and the energy that is the earthy and grounded divine feminine, the great mother, the one who holds us by gravity, literally holds us in this life. Ceres. And she is gazing across the sky to Magdalena. Mary Magdalene, feminine Christ consciousness. And these are, Mary Magdalene is not a goddess, she is a woman. She is a human being who embodied and represented and channeled through her feminine Christ consciousness as the consort of Christ, as a great teacher, as a great mystic. And yeah, that's beautiful, Krista. I love that. I'd like to hear more about that. Maybe I'll have a chance on Monday. So this is help for you. This is help for all of us. It tells us that all of this fierce energy that we have been taught to fear and suppress, or has been co-opted in service of patriarchy, of upholding a system that is destroying the world, quite literally, that lies to us about who we are. We have truth tellers. We have gentleness. Today, someone in my group told me, shared with us all, Teresa, you did this if you're still here, that today is Mother Mary's Assumption Feast Day. So people who grew up Catholic are really tuned in to the divinity of Mary and the goddess aspect of Mary. I learned she was just a woman through whom God came. But Baptist, we downplayed the feminine so hard, even worse than the Catholics do. And then another person started the whole conversation with a beautiful picture of Mary. And so today is a day for remembering the power, purity, the spiritual, the beauty, the lovingness of our divine feminine. But we have the opportunity to put it in service in a fierce and ferocious way. And the beautiful and loving, fiercely loving goddesses, the Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, Isis, what other avatars of her? These are not good girl goddesses. In some ways, they have transcended the good girl, bad girl idea, or the good girl. They are in the realm of a cosmic truth. They are closer to Black Moon Lilith. They are closer to the galactic center, or the Great Attractor. The Great Attractor happens to be conjunct Hecate at this moment. They have been traveling together for a few moon cycles. So we have a lot of resources. And yes, having softening, and then realizing that at the heart of softening, when you take off the mask, is the fire and the fierceness. And the beautiful thing, let's talk about these fierce goddesses. In all the stories I know about the bloodthirsty, off with their heads goddesses like Kali and Sekhmet, they do their fierce work. They slay the demons. They destroy the blasphemers. And then they lie down and they go to sleep. And they become the consort of the god. They become Hathor. They become Parvati. They become Shakti. They become the goddesses that are love and beauty and abundance. They feed the people. They feed you what you need to thrive and live and walk in beauty and walk in power and success. They feed your mission. So we don't walk with those fierce goddesses all the time. We use them when they are called for. And I simply say to you that at this new moon, they are called for. First, use them for your personal healing and growth. This shift, where am I living with the illusion of the good girl as keeping me safe and keeping me small, and that is the right thing to do. Cut through that illusion and step into and install the capacity for fierceness along with the divine feminine in all her forms and faces, and then you have the ability to get super clear on what are you doing with this? What are you here for? What are you called to? That's what I have for you today. That's that you've got your work cut out for you. And I'm going to mention this because I have a 4-week program called Sex Magic, Manifesting Through Pleasure, that is perfect for you to pick up after you have completed this Lioness new moon shift, because you'll have energy and you'll know what it is you're here to create. And I'm here to support you with that. So if you like that idea, just say something in the comments or send me a private message and I'll make sure you know how to tap into that. Thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure to do this reading. Thank you, Teresa, Krista, everyone. Jeanette, I saw you, Jeanette. And I love you all. Have a blessed new moon. It's a good one. Bye-bye.